Examples of a multi-tiered system model in a school. We looked closer at this infographic in Module 2. The Pbis, or Positive Behavior Interventions and Support, model addresses the critical features of practices, data, and systems. These three critical features work together to promote positive, predictable, and safe environments for everyone in a school setting. You will recognize this framework from previous lessons or modules and will continue to see it throughout Module 3. It is the framework of our project implementation. The systems, practices, and data are supported by evidence and research. The school-wide expectations are the core curriculum for the behavioral and social-emotional supports used in all settings and for all tiers of instruction. They provide the common language and consistency that lead to a positive school climate. So at the Tier 1 or universal level, you are providing school-wide expectations, teaching that expected behavior, acknowledging expected behavior, and handling problematic behavior for 100% of your student population. About 80 to 90% of your student population will be successful at Tier 1, and 10 to 15% will need Tier 2 supports to help them be successful, along with their Tier 1 supports. Tier 2 supports build on the lessons provided at Tier 1 and may prevent the need for more intensive interventions. Tier 2 supports are provided to small groups of students with similar needs, offering more time and/or detailed instruction on the core curriculum. The types of interventions offered at this level will vary according to the needs of each school student body, but will all have these certain things in common. There is a clear connection between the skills taught in the intervention and the school-wide expectations. This helps students and staff apply those lessons in non-intervention settings. Tier 2 interventions require little time of classroom teachers and are easy to sustain. There are variations within each intervention that are limited, and the interventions have a good chance of working. They are evidence-based interventions that are matched to a student's needs. Tier 3 supports continue to build on the lessons and supports provided at Tiers 1 and 2, becoming more individualized and more intensive until teams can identify what is needed for a student to be successful. Tier 3 supports are based on the underlying reasons for a student's behavior, their Pbis, and should include strategies that prevent problem behavior, teach the student an acceptable replacement behavior, and reward the student's use of the replacement behavior. Aligning the practices. Let's walk through this infographic that provides an explanation of how you can align your different initiatives to provide optimum student success. In this example, we are aligning trauma-sensitive practices into a Pbis framework. At the end of this lesson, you will have access to a printable version of this infographic for your school use. Meet Taylor. Taylor is a student at an Oklahoma school. Taylor's school wants Taylor to achieve academically, behaviorally, and with social-emotional success. Let's look at Sam. Sam is also a student at the same Oklahoma school. Like an estimated 40% of all Oklahoma students, Sam comes to school with a history of adverse childhood experiences, or ACEs, meaning she has a history of trauma or chronic stress in her background. Sam's school wants Sam to succeed. However, the climb is difficult with the weight of Sam's backpack. The backpack represents her ACEs or her traumatic history, the extra weight she's carrying around with her. Taylor and Sam's school decide to transform the school's climate to help all students succeed. The school participates in professional development and coaching to implement positive behavior interventions and supports. The school has created sustainable systems to support the implementation of trauma-sensitive evidence-based practices, and then they use their data-based decision-making to continue to build and refine their systems and practices. These components are considered a Tier 1 support. You can see that built in on the steps in the infographic. With these supports, Sam is able to achieve success. When implemented with fidelity, approximately 80% of students will respond to Tier 1 supports. Jordan and Alex also go to Sam and Taylor's school. Even with Tier 1 supports in place, Jordan and Alex need extra help getting to the top. So if you take a look at Jordan and Alex right here, you'll notice Alex has on a backpack. So even though he needs extra supports in place, he's also carrying that backpack with that extra trauma history in place. Seeing that Jordan and Alex need extra support in place to help them get to the top, the school layers on trauma-sensitive, evidence-based interventions for students needing these extra supports. Targeted, standardized, individual, and small group supports are Tier 2. Intensive, individualized supports are considered Tier 3. Students receiving Tier 2 and/or Tier 3 supports have their progress monitored using data. With these extra supports, Jordan and Alex are able to achieve success.